As a writer, one of the most important things that you'll ever be told is to show, not tell. And although that seems kind of obvious at first, it's completely different when you're doing something like making a movie or a TV show where you have a visual medium, as opposed to when you're writing a novel where all that you have are words. Growing up, my teachers always told me that you're doing a lot of telling, but you're not doing any showing. And I never understood what this was. It's just a paper. All I have are words. How can I possibly show and not tell? I realized pretty quickly that I was going about this the wrong way. The idea isn't to avoid telling at all, but it's to tell the reader enough for them to be able to come to their own conclusion. Now that might not seem like it means anything, but what I'm saying is you need to give them an example of something or describe an action, but then leave what the idea is up to their own interpretation. So rather than saying that two characters don't like each other, I would say these two guys walked up to each other, one shoved the other one and said, "Stay away from me." Now what I told you was that these two characters walked up to each other, one shoved the other one, and he told him that stay away from him. I never specifically told you that they don't like each other, but you can infer that from what I've shown. Now every story has what's called as exposition, where information is given to the audience off the bat. Now the question you always have to ask yourself with this information is it relevant to the characters or to the audience? If it's not something that's relevant to the characters, it's going to feel forced and hammed in. So you want to make sure in these cases that every information that you're telling people is relevant and comes off in a natural way. Such as when two characters are talking. One could say, "Hey look, I saw some of the bad guys over on the hill." That's something that would logically a character would say. That's something the audience would be like, yeah, comes from the character. Yes, this is relevant to what they're going through. Now, when you're asking something is it like relevant, that is one thing to the characters. But another thing would be, describe things, don't say it. Don't say that a forest is eerie. Say, they walked through the forest, the birds calling and crowing, their words echoing throughout the woods. They hear screams of the children who had been lost and never found. Using all those descriptions gives the idea that it's eerie, that it's kind of creepy, it's unsettling. But I never said that it was. I never said any of those things. I left it up to their interpretation to be. Now the takeaways from here are, make sure that when you're writing something, you're giving up the audience enough time to infer. Instead of saying that a guy's creepy, say that he's staring at a girl as she's not looking at him. If there's evidence that there's bad guys on the other side of the hill that want to kill them, have a character tell that to him, because that is relevant to what the character's doing. Make sure that you're not just saying things for the sake of the audience, and say it for the sake of the characters. And when you're going through an area, don't say that something is creepy or ugly. Describe it. There's this person who looked at them. The characters couldn't even bother to stay at her face. It looked like a dumpster. Doing things like that will greatly improve how the audience will actually read the book and make it feel more natural. So if there's anything else people want to say, just hit me up. And other than that, peace out.